Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm Jim Fuller.
Good morning, Jim Fuller. I'm Peggy Burton. Glad to be here. After all this rain.
I'm glad to be here, too. And by the way, we're out without John this morning. He's with a family member who's having a little surgery today. So Peggy and I will try to struggle through this morning.
We'll make it.
We'll make it, I'm sure.
How much rain did we get last night? Maybe 2-3 inches?
No, I don't think so. I saw this. I saw this. Did you see the weather forecast?
I didn't see the forecast. I just saw my pool.
Oh, okay.
Which is full of leaves, but it had raised about 3 inches. It looked like that to me.
They said on Channel 5 that we got about half an inch, but I could have gotten that wrong because I usually watch TV in the morning while I'm shaving, so I'm seeing it in the mirror. Maybe it was 5 inches, and I thought it was half inch. Who knows?
What goes on early in the morning? Who could think in the morning?
That's exactly right.
But I'm glad it's kind of fading out.
It is. It'll probably be a long road for the folks who live in South Florida, but it's not anywhere near as bad as they thought it might get here, because we were looking at perhaps sustained winds of 35 miles an hour a few days ago.
I haven't watched the news this morning, so I don't know how Atlanta made out, or do you?
I heard nothing about Atlanta this morning, so probably it's other than they had some serious rain yesterday.
Yeah.
But
the people that I knew 3 or 4 families that I've checked on, and all of them came out of it okay. Mm-hmm. Most of them, their homes are all right, and so that's a good thing. But I know there are a lot of people that are devastated.
Our friend Don Jackson, you may or may not, Don Jackson, I noticed that he decided to ride it out. He has a condo there, and he had some pictures yesterday on Facebook that apparently he fared pretty well. It didn't seem to have damage.
I'm just here
any
about
place.
The Branson guy, the guy that flies and is going to go to outer space one of these days.
Right.
He wrote it out in his shelter, but I haven't heard the end of that.
Well, actually, he's the guy that owns Virgin Airlines, I think, among other things. But actually, it destroyed pretty much everything on the island. However, he was in his wine shelter. Cellar,
so he didn't
wine
notice.
cellar.
He didn't notice,
and he did well. He said everything was fine.
Yeah.
It did totally devastate. And I actually think it destroyed President Trump, one of his homes.
I don't know how many he had, but I did see a little bit about that on the news, and it looked like his place was pretty well intact.
Oh, really?
And they thought it. But maybe a lot of it was.
Oh, no, I actually don't know. But
anyway, I'm glad I wasn't there.
I'm just impressed with the Branson guy because. That's what a way to go. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, when do you get the nerve to come out when you're in a shelter like that? I guess maybe he had communication still.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Probably,
anyway,
but maybe not. I mean,
But the tornadoes that spring up from one of these things can be pretty bad. So
I guess that would be a concern we might have in our area where we live, but didn't happen. So we've seen the worst of it, I guess.
I don't mind you talking about football. Who won the game last week?
Tullahoma lost another close one last week by 7, and had a chance probably to win it. Didn't quite. They got behind early and didn't quite.
I did watch on the internet the band marching. And, we need to every once in a while say something about our first-class band at Tullahoma High School.
Absolutely.
They do a super job.
I was just thinking of that this morning. Every now and then we probably need to run a clip on that.
We really do, because they win prizes all over the world, first place, or wherever they go, they seem to win. And I think that helps the team more than we realized, because they're energetic and they're out there.
Well, absolutely. There's strategy to that. Like the band is,
and the cheerleaders.
If you're playing a home game, you're supposed to play at certain points so the other team can't hear and that kind of stuff. So,
But I am proud of our band program here in this town.
Absolutely.
It's a really good job.
All right, and Tennessee won easily Saturday, so
they're excited.
They're excited.
How many people does that stadium hold? I mean, when I see
I think
pictures,
it will hold 104,000, 105,000, something like that. Yeah, it's one of the largest stadiums in the country. So,
and everybody wears orange, and so they're such great supporters.
Yeah, it's it's a crazy thing up there sometimes, and people there are such avid supporters that they sometimes go crazy. I used to be one of those.
Were you one of them?
Still a UT fan. I finally realized one day there's no sense in me getting this upset about a college football game, because it really is not going to change my life one way or another, no matter who wins.
But it's still, I think the support is phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Of course, I'm an MTSU fan, and they seem to be doing pretty good.
I think they got a win last Saturday over Syracuse, which is a big win for them. So,
and Vanderbilt, don't they have a pretty good team?
Vanderbilt is 2-0, I think, already. So, they're.
And the Titans, what kind of shape are they in?
Well, they lost yesterday. That was the first game of the professional football season, and they lost yesterday to Oakland. So, anyway. But it's just the first game. There's 15 more. So, anyway. All right, Peggy, we are out of time for this segment now, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We got through that. You did very well with sports, by the way. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. More to come right after this.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Auto Rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We are here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
All I have to do is think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday Miracles, Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our segment called Police Pointers, and joining me today, of course, is the star of this segment. I always like to say that, Paul.
I know it.
But
they want to humble me there.
No, really, it's a compliment,
Thank you.
Without you, Paul, we wouldn't have this segment, So anyway, this is our segment we call Police Pointers, and Paul Blackwell, Tullahoma Police Chief, is joining us today.
Thank you. Well, it's always a good time when I come in here because I always get questions from somebody in the audience or one of y'all,
Exactly.
Hey, what happened the other night, or what happened? What is going on? So it's enjoyable to come in here, and you haven't embarrassed me to the point where I'm saying I'm not doing that again.
Well, I try not to embarrass you because you actually know stuff. You actually know relevant information. We called the opening segment of this show Useless Dribble, as it was named several years ago by someone who called in and asked us if we could cut the useless dribble a little shorter and get back to something more interesting. So that's Useless Dribble usually in the first segment. So.
Now, I've heard it called very different things.
I'm quite sure, but we have to keep this appropriate for family television.
Well, it's good, but it's enjoyable because, as I've told you before, intended to be a compliment is when I'm out in the community, people will tell me, I saw you, and I saw you with Jimmy. And it's
it's hard to imagine at my age people still call me Jimmy.
They call you Jimmy.
Right.
So they're very complimentary. So I know that we're at least reaching out to some people, and that's what the intent is to share information and create some dialogue and build that partnership with our community.
I'm always pleased, and I'll just throw this in. It's totally irrelevant to what we're talking about, I guess. But I think in my 25-some plus years in doing this, I've actually gotten one phone call from somebody who I just made extremely mad. Well, two. I said something about the skirts that the guys that do the
kilts?
Kilts, yeah, the kilts. One day, just kidding, and I'll never do that again. That was a bad mistake, and because they didn't think it was funny, and then one time I inadvertently drifted over into politics and said something political about somebody that actually wasn't an elected official, but it was someone they liked a lot, and I heard big time about that. So I tried to tell you.
I try to make it a very, very stern point that I don't like to talk politics, and especially around election times when people want to ask me who do I support, and it's like because I don't go down that road.
Usually there's no right answer there.
And it's like I tell officers, you can do 100 great things.
Absolutely.
But all it takes is that one.
Right.
To wipe out all those hundreds. In the military, we had a much different way of explaining it. But, 100 attaboys can get wiped out by that one.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you got to be cautious.
Absolutely. Now you are doing what now? You've got a couple of interesting things that you have done.
Yesterday we had our 9/11 ceremony, or the fire department did, and they always do a great job of doing that in the morning. So we went to that at 7:30 in the morning. Very good program. Chief Shasteen did a good program. And, 9/11, 2001 was 16 years ago. And people tend to forget. We were in our dress uniforms and all, and, people would ask you, what are you dressed up for today? And you say, well, it's 9/11. Oh, yeah.
Right.
So we want to constantly remind people that, let's not forget what happened 16 years ago, and especially the sacrifices the firemen and the police officers and the other emergency personnel made that day. So we had that ceremony. Then we went to Manchester for the Patriot Day Award, where they recognize first responders throughout the county and different military organizations, the disabled vets, the VFW, American Legion, recognize different people. And we had a police officer, Brooke Earhart, recognized as our Patriot for 2017, and the fire department had Ricky Prince recognized for his service. So it was enjoyable to go and see them publicly recognized in front of peers, families, and community members.
Yeah, I think that's a great event.
It is. They did a great job. Paul Gish was the MC yesterday and did it just really a good job. Not just introducing the presenters, but his presentation talking about first responders, sacrifices, and of course Paul's a retired law enforcement officer, so
I did not know that.
He retired in Florida.
Okay.
Many years with the sheriff's department. So he's got the background, he's got the t-shirt to be able to talk about that. So yesterday was a very hectic day. Cash Express came in, brought us a huge cake. American flag, and they do that every year. Right. So, really, yesterday I had to carry an index card in my pocket just to remember where I'm supposed to be at which time. It was that that fluid of having to be somewhere constantly for either a ceremony, a meet and greet, or a presentation or something.
I think 9/11 was such a tragic event. However, it has, I think, brought major awareness to people, first responders, who that's their job since then. And I'm glad to see that that's remembered every year.
And it did. It was a huge awakening. But it's the same thing. 16 years, so we have to continually keep that candle lit so that people remember it. And so today is kind of a work day for me. I get to stay in the office all day and catch up. But tomorrow I'm going to be in Washington, D.C., going with the Honor Flight of Middle Tennessee. And for those that don't know, it's a 501c3, and we focus on taking World War II, Korea, and some Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials. Spend the day up there, no cost to the veteran. We pay for everything. And take them to the World War II Memorial, the Vietnam Memorial, the Korean Memorial, Arlington Cemetery, and then we go to Fort Meade, Maryland, an Army post, and actually eat in the dining facility before we catch the plane home. So it's a long day, and the veterans really enjoy it. Now the guardians, the people that go and help these veterans, have a wonderful time as well. They have to pay their way. So many of our World War II veterans are in their early 90s, or so they need quite a bit of. We have to give a one-on-one guardian to make sure that.
So for every veteran, there's a guardian.
A guardian,
right? Okay.
Now, if the veteran can walk, because it's a full day of walking, and we usually have very limited number of those, then we may give 2 veterans to a guardian. But in most cases, the veteran has to be in a wheelchair, so we have to have that 1-to-1 ratio.
Right.
We do that twice a year. So you can imagine that it gets harder and harder to find our World War II veterans. So anyone that's listening, if you have a veteran of World War II or Korea, you can get in touch with me, or you can look up Honor Flight on the internet, and we'd be glad to take that veteran to Washington, D.C. And if a family member wants to go as a guardian, we can tell them that as well. What we won't do, though, is take a veteran and their spouse. We won't take the 2 of them together on the flight. So, but we will take a veteran and a child, but we won't let their spouse go with us.
I see.
Sometimes the spouse may be as old as them, so but we have to make sure that we can make sure that veteran has a good time.
What is the organization that does this?
It's actually called Honor Flight.
Honor Flight is
it's a national organization. Okay. There's only 2 branches in Tennessee. One, ours, which is Middle Tennessee, and it's based right here in Tullahoma, and the other is out of Clarksville. So you can imagine Clarksville probably has a pretty good pool of people to pull from, whereas here we go down into Alabama, all parts of Tennessee. We have right now we have 4 pickup locations. So tomorrow morning we'll start at about 2:00 in the morning, picking up in Winchester. Then we'll come to Tullahoma and pick up. Then we'll go to Manchester and pick up, and go to Murfreesboro and pick up. Then drive to the airport, and we'll meet probably half our veterans at the airport.
The airport in Nashville?
Nashville.
No, okay.
So it's quite it's almost like a military operation. When we say we got to leave CD stamps at 3:30 in the morning, at 3:30 we're on that bus and we're moving out. We always have a great escort from law enforcement. The Patriot Guard motorcycle, which is a lot of veterans, show up and escort us all the way to the county line, and the veterans love it.
I bet.
Now, if you've been to Washington, D.C., you know the traffic congestion. But once we leave Arlington Cemetery and start making our way to Fort Meade, Maryland, as soon as we get out of D.C. and hit the Maryland state line, we have a Maryland state trooper, or 2 of them, that'll escort us through all that traffic and get us to Fort Meade, Maryland. And I think tomorrow, if I read my emails right, we're going to have 4 state troopers that are going to get us through all that traffic. And you talk about
nice, yeah.
The veterans love it. They're all getting their cameras out because it's basically like parting the waters.
Right.
Those troopers, everybody in D.C. will pull over, and there goes that bus and the troopers through the line. So it's exciting. When we get to the airport, when we leave Nashville, the USO is there. And, so all these veterans get excited about the USO.
Right.
Because for many of them during the war, that was their mainstay.
Sure.
And it's usually lined with people that are applauding our veterans, and you can see the tears in their eyes when this happens. Then we get to Baltimore, huge crowd waits for us, a lot of military. a lot of young military people, and they get the chance to interact with all these veterans, take pictures with them, and shake their hand. And some of these, and I'm going to say kids, they're like 18, 19, 20 years old,
right?
Meeting some of these true heroes. And as you're walking out Baltimore Airport, the people just stop and applaud these veterans.
That's great.
It is.
That's great.
And if you don't get tears, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly.
I mean, just talking about
Absolutely.
it get you choked up.
Yeah.
And when we get into Baltimore, actually the fire department sprays the water over the airplane as a hero's welcome.
Right. That's great.
So it's great. It's going to be a long day. Starts about 2 in the morning and ends about 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my goodness.
But the veterans love it. And some of the stories we get from their families, some of these veterans are buried in their shirt. We give them a shirt. We give them a ball cap. Some of these veterans actually choose to be buried with that honor flight, either the hat or the shirt.
Absolutely.
So if you've got a World War II relative, a Korean War, or a Vietnam vet that is over 70% disabled due to Agent Orange, we'd love to talk to them and see if we can get them on the next flight, which will be in the spring.
Right. Okay, great.
I know we took a little bit longer than we needed to, but
it was a great subject.
For our heroes, we'll take whatever time it needs.
It's a great subject, absolutely. Folks, we'll be right back with more living right after this.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we talked in our opening segment today about Tullahoma's close loss last week at last week's football game. But one of the neat things that happened at that game was the tailgate party, and that had been postponed from the previous week because we had some serious rain in the area. But it's an opportunity for everybody to meet the football players, the cheerleaders, and the band members and such. The kids get T-shirts, there's food and all kinds of stuff as you're going to see here in just a moment. John Gray stopped by that event and brings us this video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2017 Tullahoma High School tailgate party. It was canceled last week. It's usually the first home game of the year, but it was canceled because of rain. And now this is the Winchester weekend. Winchester's coming to town, Franklin County, and we're having the tailgate party today at Fraser McEwen Park, and that's brought to you by Light Tube. And and I think First Vision Bank. So have a big time. Wish those Wildcats victory tonight against Franklin County. All right, I'm with Ashley Hunter, and she's with First Vision Bank, one of the prime sponsors of the tailgate party, and they've been doing it for how many years now? Do you know? I can't remember.
I took it over, but this is the 21st one. So,
all right.
Yeah, we've been doing it for several.
Yes, you have, and we appreciate your willingness to be part of the community and help such a great event.
Thank you.
What do you have here today? Pizza?
Pizza for $1.
Pizza for $1.
Feed these hungry
Okay.
kids.
All right. Thank you, First Vision Bank.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, the crowd's lining up and the football team's coming in. And there's Brian Skelton and the folks over there with Light Tube. And they are one of the prime sponsors of this. And the boys and cheerleaders and everybody are going to get up here in just a minute and start signing T-shirts. And all of these young people are waiting to get their T-shirts and have the 2017 Tullahoma Wildcat football team, who are now 2 victories and 1 loss, playing Franklin County tonight, our third close town rival, and see if we've already beat Shelbyville, we've already beat Manchester, we can see if we can beat Winchester tonight. So we appreciate them, and there's Brian Skelton with Light Tube right there, and Tullahoma Utility Authority. This is what, Brian,
2017, I'm an old shirt, 2017 kickoff tailgate party.
There you go. But it's give them out, and it's what, the 21st year or something
that
like that?
Right.
Long time. Appreciate your being part of it, buddy. All right. So they're handing out T-shirts to all these young people, and they're going to get them signed by the Tullahoma Wildcat football team. Lined up, getting their shirts, and they're headed up to the pavilion to get their shirt signed by the Tullahoma Wildcat football team. Here's where it all happens. These young people are filing through. The Tullahoma Wildcat football team and cheerleaders are signing their T-shirts. Look at that, a big wave there. Look at all of you. Y'all looking good now. Look at them. Isn't that wonderful? This is the tailgate party and T-shirt signing for 2017, and all these young people are getting their shirts signed by the Tullahoma Wildcat football team and cheerleaders. Hello, dear. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Fine. You gonna let me in tonight?
I am.
Good
I got
girl.
your ticket.
I know you do. I mean, the pavilion is full. And there are young people everywhere, and this is exciting for the fans. It's exciting for the players, the parents. Just a Everybody's daddies and mamas taking pictures here. Huh?
I'm actually momming today.
You're momming?
She couldn't get off work.
Well, you tell Lester to let her off. Look at these Wildcats here. Big smile, guys. What kind of chances Rankin County got tonight? None? There you go. That's what I want to hear. And we'll get to the other side right here. Good looking, boys and girls. This is great right here for the town. Great for the football team. How you doing? Good to see you. Great for the football team. Look at all these good-looking young men. Huh? Y'all doing good now. Look at them. Look at them. Doing good here. Proud of every one of them. Here's a couple more over here. They even getting the coaches are getting a T-shirt signed here.
No, not me.
Oh yeah, aren't you a fan too?
Good for the camera.
Yeah, here's the camera right here looking for you. There you go. Tullahoma Wildcat football time, folks. That's a great picture right there for you Wildcat fans. That's the Olive Triumphant right there. Coach Olive and his two sons. And what a great, lucky community we are to have that quality of coaching team leading our young men into victory. And that's check for $1,500 presented by Farmers Insurance to the Tullahoma High School Quarterback Club. It's Mark Moran up there. And we congratulate them for their participation in all things good about Tullahoma High School football. There's a number one Wildcat fan right there, Mike Finn. Good to see you, buddy.
So glad to have everybody here, especially the young Wildcats that are here, to get their shirts signed and face painted and so forth, get ready to roll for tonight. We appreciate the moms and dads that have brought them out. I want to say thank you to TUA and the First Vision Bank for sponsoring this. I was telling Chris earlier, I thought it was the 20th annual, and it's the 21st. That's an old shirt. That's a new shirt. 21st time. Started in 1997, kind of on a trial basis, and that trial has continued on, and I want to thank everybody. We look forward to seeing you tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Matt Layton with First Vision Bank.
Thank you, Coach. Great to see everybody out today. Wasn't too many years ago I was sitting on one of these benches and looking forward to a big game. I want to congratulate Coach and the team on a great start to the season. I hate that we couldn't normally do this the first week of the year, but it was a little damp out last week. So but we got a beautiful day today, great night for a football game. This is, I believe, the 9th or 10th year that the bank's been involved in this, and we're proud to support it and appreciate everybody coming out. I'll let Brian say a few words, and we'll get the guys headed back and getting ready for the game tonight. Go Wildcats.
Thank you, Matt. Tullahoma Utilities is happy to sponsor this event, and we're very involved in a lot of things in the community, especially Tullahoma athletics. We're excited about the fact that we've beaten our rivals in Coffee County, we've beaten our rivals over in Bedford County and Shelbyville, and tonight we're going to beat our rivals in Franklin County. So we wish the team good luck. We thank everybody for coming out today, and go Wildcats.
Thank y'all very much. We'll head out.
With me on the set, Jacob and Taylor from the animal shelter. And they have with them Miss Pam. Tell me a little bit about Pam.
She's about 6 years old. She's an Australian Shepherd mix.
Yeah.
She's a really sweet dog, really calm and laid back.
Look at her. She's just as calm as she can be.
She's up to date on all of her shots, has flea and tick preventative.
Great.
She's
what do
ready
y'all
to go.
use for flea and tick preventative for an animal this size?
There's some different ones we use from the vets that work really well.
Do you put a collar? Is it on a collar or do they?
No,
it's
usually
tube?
either a pill or a tube.
Okay. And how long does it last?
30 to 60 days.
Okay. That's sort of the same way with a cat. I'm just checking. Well, she is a beautiful dog, and they would love to have her adopted out to a good home, somebody that needs a good, calm, sweet dog. I know we got something coming up Saturday.
We do. We have an adoption event at Tractor Supply from 10 to 2.
And if Pam hasn't been picked up yet, she'll be there?
She will.
Good. From 10 o'clock till 2. And Tractor Supply is, the location is
on
Cedar
Jackson
Lane,
Street.
or is
It's on,
Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson and Cedar kind of.
Jackson and Cedar Lane, and so you'll be right there in the corner where the fence is, sort of. With how many animals you gonna have?
Probably about 5 or 6. It depends on how many volunteers I have that are willing to help corral them for me.
And when someone comes to adopt, what is their responsibility?
They just have to fill out a form and let us know that they're going to be a good dog owner and keep the dog inside, not just an outside dog.
Okay.
And then just pay our
Did they pay
fee,
it's a small fee, isn't it?
$35.
$35.
And that includes getting the dog spayed or neutered.
That's a good deal, really.
It is.
I mean, I've never seen a shelter dog that wasn't a fine dog and turned out to be a good pet and a companion that goes with you for life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't believe somebody let her go, because look at her. She's just the happiest she can be. Taylor, how long have you been working with the shelter?
I started in April, so it hasn't been too long, and I absolutely love it. It's a perfect job for me.
What's your favorite part?
Spending time with the animals.
Just spending time with the animals. You walk them, and you keep, and you have such a beautiful smile, and I know you love them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure your people that work with you love you too.
I sure
hope it's a great job to have.
And we have one dog that's basically feral we've had for 2 years, and we'll just keep him down there, and no one's ever been able to touch him, but she can walk him on a leash and pet him. And
how did you do that?
I just went up to him and I sat down in his cage with him, and I guess
you just
he
got
gained
a
my
special
trust.
touch. That's beautiful. That's a really something to say about somebody that can do that and nobody else can.
No,
because I'm sure you've had a lot of experience with animals.
Yeah, and we've had dog trainers come down there and say, "Oh, well, we can work with them and we'll get them around," and they couldn't do anything.
Or, by the way, aside from this event that's happening Saturday at Tractor Supply between 10 and 2,
right?
What else is going on?
On October 14th at the Tullahoma Art Center.
I wanted to hear about that.
A dog art project where you can use your dog's paws and make art.
I think that'll be really sweet.
It will.
I read that in the newsletter that came from the art place, and it sounded like a cool idea. And that'll be something you can save forever. Mm-hmm. Any size dog you want to bring is okay?
Yeah.
And does that cost some money?
I'm not sure on that.
Okay. I mean, it seems like it ought to cost a little bit because you're always trying to raise money.
Yeah.
There's never enough money to feed and clothe and whatever you have to do to take care of the animals. But I love the idea. What was that date again? Is that on Saturday too?
I'm not sure. It's on the 14th.
On the 14th? Okay, I don't have the dates in my brain.
I don't either.
I'm thinking it's a Saturday, though.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like it might be a Saturday.
And then on October 28th, we have our annual Bark in the Park coming up again.
And that's out at Fraser McEwen?
Yes.
And so people bring their dogs, so what all goes on there?
Usually they'll have, there's a bunch of events for the dogs to do, and they can get shots while they're there, and they can also get microchips.
You get microchips?
And there's a lot to do for people.
Do y'all
and
suggest
dogs.
everybody ought to have a microchip in their animals?
It makes our job a lot easier.
I would
finding
think.
the owner.
Because I just think when there's thunder and lightning, dogs run off, and
or even
sometimes get lost.
If the people will attach their rabies tags to the dogs, we can track the owner through the rabies tag.
Right.
Which, if you don't want to get them microchipped, you
but
don't have
not
to do that. But if you keep the tag
puts a collar and a tag on their animal.
Right.
But there's got to be a way to identify them, or how do you ever get them home?
Exactly.
Of course, you can always bring them on this show, and we'll put their face on TV.
There you go.
And anything else happening before winter?
That's it for now.
Okay, and I guess we need to remind people that winter is coming, and make sure you have a shelter for your animals, and not let them get frozen. Keep water out.
Towels and blankets. We can always use.
Oh, you're still looking for towels and blankets. So if you're ready to get some new towels, they're on sale at several places. I'm not going to give them a plug. But anyway, take your old towels to the shelter.
The best rugs we can use are like bathroom rugs that have that rubber on the bottom. Those work great for us.
Sure, I can imagine.
And a lot of people change those out, and they're pretty cheap.
All right, you're going to have to come back and talk to us again.
All right.
Taylor, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Jacob,
too.
Thank you so much.
You're
We'll
welcome.
be back.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And today I am Pat Welch, and we're here for the 61st rendition of the Conversation with John and Pat.
You're Pat Welch today. Are you something else tomorrow?
If somebody's mad enough, I can be somebody else.
Well, Pat, this song is one that was done 50s, 60s. He's got the whole world in his hands. And
that's kind of the Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul, and Mary. That
I don't know who
era,
did that. I should have looked it up before I came.
It's a great song, though, and I'm eagerly anticipating it.
He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got me and you, Pat. In his hand, he's got me and you, John. In his hand, he's got me and you, Philip. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
John, I thought it was really wise when you've already done 61 and maybe running out of material that you would include the management in the song. Put them in his hands.
That's a motive that I really didn't think about at the time, but you're correct about that. Pat, how long have you been married?
41. Blissful.
You're just a young married fella.
I saw that in the Tullahoma News the other day, John.
My wife and I have been married 50 years. 50 years. And Philip, can you throw the picture up?
Now that is the picture that I saw in the newspaper, John, and this is not intended. Your wife doesn't look much different than that, but it looks like to me that somewhere way short of the 50 years that you're wedded, that picture was taken. In fact, either it was taken well in advance or we photoshopped some hair in it.
I think, we probably had it touched up. I'm not sure if we did or not. I don't know if, some things, I might agree with you some, but my wife looks just as lovely.
She does.
You look lovelier tonight. I remember.
That's a great picture.
50 years, we were married.
A great testimony to the art of marriage.
August 19th, 1967. And what did we see right beside us in the newspaper was R.J. Hayes and Sandy Hayes. They were married the very same day. We married in Battle Creek, Michigan. I met Barb at college at Pulaski, Tennessee, at Martin Methodist College. And we were married between my sophomore and junior year. And R.J. and Sandy were married between semesters, seemed like, but I can't remember what state it was, but it was out west.
All right, and when my time comes for 50, John, our picture will be beside Roger and Linda Bean, who were married in Estill Springs within hours of Beth and I being married in Tullahoma.
Oh, but
so those are two good stories, unusual a little bit.
Well, we've had good marriage. I had a couple of verses out of Proverbs that I was going to read just for this occasion, but I don't have them with me right now. But it speaks about the virtues of a good woman and a married life and that sort of thing. It is a great thing to be paired with someone for as many years as we have. Was it all easy? No.
No, but all fun.
All fun. Put up that other picture, if you will, of the Ferrises. Now, many of you people might recognize this couple. Both have deceased. Wonderful people. Pat and Willie Bell Ferris.
They were a great couple.
They own many storage barns all over this city.
And before they got in that, John, they sold eggs, and they'd come to your house.
Hard workers.
Oh man,
hard workers.
I mean, nothing but.
The reason I bring them up, to me, they are the epitome, you might say, of success because they were married over 70 years.
And they worked hand in hand. They both complemented the business and their marriage.
Yeah.
They had unique kind of talents that they both brought to both. But Mr. Ferris was an absolute bulldog, but a great Christian, caring person too.
Yeah.
He just, he'd come into the Builder Supply when he built those storage facilities, John, by hand, with some help, but not much. And he'd come in early in the morning, pick something up, and he had coveralls on that were completely dry. He'd come in at lunch, and they were completely wet.
He worked hard.
I mean,
they had 4 daughters, and I won't go. I'm pretty sure it's four daughters, and they helped with the business. And
it's kind of like you milking cows, John, when you're in high school. They didn't have any choice.
They didn't have any choice. And I think in the long haul, it profited everybody that was involved.
Right.
One story on Willie Bell that I will tell you that I thought was so funny. I go to Grace Baptist Church. They did too. And Brother Tim McGehee, who's our pastor, he went over to out on Cedar Lane, NHC, to visit Willie Bell while she was in her declining state. And he walked into her room, and she had her hands like this and with her eyes closed, and she was just laying out there. And he said, "Willie Bell, are you all right?" And she said, "Well, John, Tim, I'm just practicing on my visitation." That was her.
Oh, that's great.
They were comics, and she was. She loved the Rooster song that my brother and I, our little song. And she would always have the most humorous stories, and she was just full of life and vigor. And she will just continue to live on in my memory, and I know a lot of other people's memory as well. But let's pay tribute to them, Sandy and R.J. Hayes, and to my wife and I, and
and pay tribute to the blessing of marriage. What a great institution!
It really is. And anyway, for you listening, we hope you can be just as joyful about your situation. And so we're going to sign off here. And Pat, this is number
61. It's in the books, and we'll do our best to make 62 as long as management will allow it. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maid. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now from Lanham Memorial Library in Tullahoma, Susan Stovall. And Susan, you're here today to talk about kind of a special thing that's happening at the libraries, I guess all libraries this month.
This month is National Library Card Sign-Up Month, where we encourage people to use one of the most valuable resources that their community has, because I can guarantee you we are the best deal in town. You get these little cards in your wallet for your keychain, and you have access to thousands and thousands of books, because not only can you use our books, you can get books in Manchester. We have a courier system, but you can borrow books from all over the state. And we have e-books, and we have databases. They have a thing that's called TEL. It's the Tennessee Electronic Library. So when your kid hasn't done their report and it's 9 o'clock at night and you're going, oh my goodness, well, all you have to do is sign into those databases, and they are good, solid material that will not lead your child wrong. You can do a report for yourself or for your kid for those, and you don't even have to come to the building.
Amazing, and you get all that through this card,
Through
right?
this card. You do have to have cards to use those. They have what they call reads, which are e-books, which is not only print books, but audio books. So if you're going on vacation, you can check those out with your library card through the website. So if you're on vacation or something and need something, or what's really a lot of people love about it is you never pay a fine with those e-books. They just go away. And the good news for us is it gets returned, because it just goes away.
Times have changed since back when I used a library card where they logged it on a card,
and checked it out, or maybe even wrote your name in it. I remember doing that in school. And we have Chromebooks that we check out inside. Or another thing that people love when they go on vacation is we have what we call a Playaway View, and most of them are for children, but we may expand into the grown-up area, and they come preloaded with movies and little TV shows and that sort of thing. So you can take that with you if you don't have, a DVD player in your car or something, and your children can watch stuff while you're on the road. And we have all sorts of activities. We have a knitting group we just started at the library. We have a book club. We're just getting ready to start a movie club. We're really excited about that.
Where you can check out movies?
Oh, yeah, we check out movies. We have thousands of movies. We're actually known for our movie collection, I think, around the state. Yeah, so DVDs, of course. And like I said, all sorts of material. We still have print magazines. We're looking at hopefully moving into digital items. But like I said, we don't even have to be open for you to use the library, though we're always glad to see you. It's one of the reasons we do all those programs.
What is the process to get your library card?
Okay, like I said, it's free if it's your first card. You come in with a photo ID, fill out a little application, and you're good to go. Now, if it's a child, you need to be the legal guardian for that child, because when you sign up for a library card, it actually is a legal contract. Which means that if the child loans their card to a friend who checks out 15 books and never returns them, so that's why you have to have the legally responsible adult. But it's super simple. Like I said, we try to make it fast and easy, and we're open 7 days a week. So 64 hours a week, actually.
Unbelievable. My recollection of libraries, especially when I was in school, I've been there many times relative to television, but was that you use the library for a reference like encyclopedias. The library had encyclopedias that you could use, but now there's so much more. It's changed so much, and I'm amazed that you actually have Chromebooks that people can use if they don't happen to have their own device.
One of the things we saw when the economy took a downturn was even that people that had their own computers didn't have internet access anymore. So we not only have our computers, but there was such a demand that we needed something, a little cheaper. But the other thing that's great about the Chromebooks in the library is you can take them over to another area. You're not tied down to that that big computer. So if you want to work and you need other material, like you want access to the books in the reference section too, or the magazines, then you can sit over there with the Chromebook and use that. And people really do enjoy the Chromebooks.
So you're obviously getting people in the libraries now that not just people doing work or homework or that kind of thing. I bet you're getting people there that do it just for pleasure, just for fun.
Oh, absolutely. We also get a lot of people who are like doing things like resumes, trying to find a job, because you can't even get a janitor's job anymore without going online pretty much. But yeah, we have an amazing amount of material that's just fun. And, you know, because that's part of our service too. And people enjoy that, and they need both.
Unbelievable. And how long have you personally been involved in this library?
23 years, October 1st.
Oh my goodness.
So
I bet you've seen a lot of changes in your career there.
I was there when they brought in their first computers.
Really?
Yes, Bill Gates gave grants to libraries across the nation, but here in Tennessee, and funded our first computers. And we have grown and grown since then.
Unbelievable. Are you asked to give advice or help and instruction on people that how to use them or where to go and look for stuff as librarians used to do?
Oh, absolutely. You know, a lot of reference now is online, but we do things like we offer little seminars, or if you're having problems, you know, somebody gave you this device and you don't know how to use it. If you come in, we'll help you try to learn to do that, or, you know, we'll help you write that resume. You know, or we'll point you the right direction. One of the big issues now, of course, is information literacy. How do you tell fake news from real news?
Absolutely.
And that's always been an issue that librarians kind of specialized in, but it is so current and timely now. And we're always glad to talk to you about how you can tell if something's really accurate and a source you should trust. But the other thing about the databases that I mentioned is those are vetted by professional librarians. And so if you go to something that's attached to our website or our social media, I can assure you that is solid information. We take that very seriously.
I would imagine that it's a huge problem today, fake news, and if you don't know how to determine, you may be believing something that's totally incorrect.
It is amazing. And the thing back when it was just books is things got vetted before they got to the public. The publisher stood behind that material. But now anybody, and lots of totally crazy, honestly, people can make a really good looking website. And so a lot of people do get fooled. And we actually did a little class on how to tell if something was fake news or if it was reliable, along with other reference, you know, items, because it doesn't do you any good to find something if it's total nonsense. And I would urge everybody to think about what you're looking at. And first question to ask yourself is, what is the motive that this person has putting it up there? If they're trying to sell you something, well, maybe you want to scrutinize that information a little more carefully, whether that something is medicine or politics.
Absolutely. Susan, we're out of time. Once again, we were encouraging people to stop by the library, get their library card. This is a special month for that.
It is.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to seeing everyone.
Okay. My, how the role of librarians has changed over the years.
It has. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more living.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Today we have a young man on the show, and I met him first at the Country Showdown, which is a national contest, and then was impressed, and he was also with us in this year's South Jackson Goes Country Show. His name's Ben Hips, and Ben's here today. Hi, Ben.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Welcome. Thank you for coming and being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about Ben Hips. Where are you from? How old are you? How long you been playing the guitar and hunting the music dream?
Well, I'm 23 years old, and I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama, and kind of lived in a few different places. We lived in New Mexico at one point, and we mostly grew up in Tennessee, and that's kind of where a lot of my roots are. And but this music-wise, you know, I started playing music when I was 12 years old. My granddad taught me my first few chords on the guitar, and then I started playing piano.
Good for granddad.
I know it. I know it. He'd be proud of me. But, and I started, you know, picking up piano, and I really, when I first started playing piano, I was just kind of messing around on my old keyboard I had one day, and I flipped up a switch and I pushed 3 keys together, and it showed me how to make a chord. And I was like, whoa, you know, it kind of just blew my mind. And after that, I don't know, some song lyrics just came into my head, and I wrote them down. And I thought that, you know, this will probably be something I, you know, find, you know, a couple months later in the midst of my messy room and probably throw it away. But I sang it in front of my family, and they really liked it. And my dad was a pastor at the time, and he wanted me to do it in front of the whole church, which to a 13-year-old kid, that's terrifying.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
So after a couple of months of working on it with the praise team at my old church, we did it there, and that's just kind of what started it. After that, you know, I started taking piano lessons. You know, I picked up the guitar again, started playing it, and taking vocal lessons here and there, and just kept writing music. And over the years, I've worked with different groups.
Have you been with any organized, like in your high school or anything? Were you with a choir or a choral group or anything like that?
Well, I was homeschooled, and so, you know, we went to a local homeschool co-op, actually right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, every Friday. I was at the Enrichment Fellowship.
Right.
And, you know, they had choirs there and stuff. I remember being a part of the barbershop quartet class they had one time. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And but there was always a choir there.
So just pick up bits and pieces along the way, huh?
Right, pretty much, yeah.
But pretty much a single
act
type thing.
I've worked with different groups in the past, and it's just kind of varied with different genres of music. At one point, I was playing in a classic rock / blues band called Winger Alley, and we were located in Winchester, Tennessee, and we actually. We played the Dogwood Festival back in 2015, but and then I play in this contemporary Christian band called the Andrew Alford Band. I've been playing with those guys for a couple of years, and then when I'm not doing that, I play music on my own in just different places, everything. So.
And what does Ben do for a job?
Well, right now I'm working at Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville, Alabama. Basically, I just get paid to move cars all day long, so it's a pretty mindless but busy job. And
right, somebody has to do it.
Oh, pretty much, absolutely. Someone has to do it, yeah. Someone has to do it, and there's definitely a lot of cars that come through there. But and when I'm not doing that, I'm either playing music, on the road, or I'm playing music at church, and I'm usually working with different praise teams, everything like that. And so, as far as my musical background, like I said, I grew up playing music in church. So I have a gospel background, but as I got out of high school and everything. Started playing, got into rock and blues, a little bit of country here and there, and I've even worked with an R&B group at one time, helped them with their music. So I just I don't like the idea of just being confined to one genre of music. I like to branch out and, try different things, see what works, see what doesn't work. But as far as just, me, myself as a core musician, gospel, rock, and blues are kind of, where I generally cling to as far as
Right. Well, I was impressed about how well you pull your thing off as a single act with a guitar and your voice, and it's very entertaining. What's your goal?
My goal is honestly to never quit, and just see how far it can go. As Ray Charles said, he said, I never wanted to be famous, I just wanted to be great. And so I think that's a great mentality to have, because fame is passing, as they all say, but to make music that leaves an impact in somebody's life,
for sure.
I think that means, and I think that's worth more than any kind of money I'll ever make.
Sure, sure, and it's something, like you say, that lasts, and it's something that you can do. I remember I told my son, who's a very good athlete, that to pay attention to his piano lessons. I said, because 20 years from now, when all the athletes are standing around at a party with busted up knees and everything, telling old football stories, you look and see where all the girls are. They're going to be around the guy playing the piano.
Absolutely.
So that whole dynamic kind of changes.
It does.
And music's something you can do forever and ever and ever. Amen.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's really pretty cool. I like the way you sound. I like your lyrics. Why don't you have something original you can do for us right now?
Absolutely.
And tell us about the song and the title and where it came about.
Sure. So this past year I've been blessed with making an EP, and it has 5 tracks on it. It's called My Insanity, and basically the title track of this course, that's what it's called. The story behind My Insanity is kind of, I don't know, if you read the Bible and you look at the prodigal son, and he kind of has this mindset of, well, I'm grown, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and he takes what his father's given him as his inheritance and just blows it on stupid things. And it's not till he gets into the pig pen, and it's kind of, I guess, in our terminology, at his lowest point, that he realizes, oh shoot, I actually do need my dad. I had everything I wanted at home.
Right.
And so, in my life, I get to my lowest point, and I realize, oh, I need God. And the chorus says, through my insanity, your grace was enough for me. And so, it's just kind of this realize, we get the low points, but we also got to realize that we got to come back home in the end and come back to what we had beforehand before we decided to throw it all away. So
yeah,
cool. So this is My Insanity. I got caught up chasing dreams instead of running for God's heart. I saw my life going down the streams, and it was tearing me apart. I found myself walking on a thin wire. By my mistakes, I caught myself on fire. The devil held me by the side to his gun. He fired away, and I thought I was done. But God saved me through my insanity.
through my insanity. Through my insanity. I never felt so far away, and it was more than I could bear. It's actually hard to even pray when you wonder if God cares. I find myself walking on a thin wire. By my mistakes, I caught myself on fire. The devil held me by the sides of his gun. He fired away and I thought I was done. But God saved me through my insanity. Your grace was enough for me. Through my insanity, your love truly set me free. Through my insanity, you saved me from where I'd been. Through my insanity, you covered all my sin. Through my insanity, you still love me to my core. Through my insanity, I found myself loving you more. Through my insanity, your grace was enough for me. Oh, through my insanity, your love truly set me free. Through my insanity, oh, through my insanity, oh. So there we go.
Damn it. Very good.
Well, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Of course, this is fun. What else do you do for entertainment for yourself for fun? How you take a break? Because this is a lot of fun, but it's also work.
It's a lot of work. Oh my goodness.
So what does Ben do to chill?
Sometimes go hang out with friends. I'll read a book here and there. Like I said, the moments of chilling though, it's kind of like I said, it's far and few between on this young guy. But
trying to make a way.
Just trying to make a way, absolutely. I'm a busybody at heart, and it's one of those things. I'd rather be busy than not do anything at all. And I guess that you have to learn something with life and just kind of balance everything, balancing work, balancing fun. But at the same time, when you're trying to build a music career like this, you got to stay busy. You can't be lazy at all.
So do you have a love interest?
I do. I have a girlfriend. Her name is Katie. I don't know how she puts up with my crazy self, but
with your insanity.
Yes, with my insanity. She knows I'm insane. But just like I said, she's the sweetest thing ever. And in fact, the next song I'm gonna do, I actually wrote it about her.
And you say you have an EPK?
I do.
And how does somebody find you if they want to go online and get your music or find out about you, where you're performing? I'm sure you have a schedule on some kind of website somewhere.
I do. Well, as far as like website goes, I'm on pretty much everything social media wise. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all Ben Hips.
HIPPS.
That's right. It's like it's like the hips on your side with two piece, but and as far as contacting me goes, Facebook is probably the best way right now. As far as if you want a CD or whatever, eventually my music is going to be on iTunes. It's not quite there yet, but it will be. And just follow me on social media. Every Monday I'm always posting a new cover of a song or whatever, just to keep everybody in the loop of what's going on. And I'm always posting on social media.
But do you play like every weekend? Are you playing Friday, Saturday nights somewhere?
For the most part, I I mean, even after this, I'm going and playing music tonight. So
Okay.
I mean, it's just about every weekend right now.
So
which is
people
great.
find out where they can go hear you.
Pretty much, yeah.
By
And
checking on Facebook.
By checking on Facebook. So, you know, sometimes I'll post on Instagram and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
there
for
you
the
go.
most part, you know, Facebook is kind of my local means of advertising.
Right.
So.
Okay, and so this next song is what?
This next song is called My Everything, and when we met at Daddy Billy's for the Country Showdown, I realized, you know, this is a country competition, and as you can tell, I'm not just super country at all. And so, you know, I realized that, you know, if I wanted to hang with the cats who were playing country, that I needed to have something that kind of resembled country music and everything. And so I thought, you know, how hard could it be to write a country song? And as Willie Nelson said, country is nothing but three chords and the truth. So, you know,
That was Harlan Howard.
I thought Willie Nelson said that. No, it wasn't.
Howard.
Excuse me.
That's all right.
Someone must have tricked me. But
Willie's probably used it.
Willie,
too.
yeah, if he's like, Willie probably stole it from somebody.
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
know Willie. So thinking of that competition, and of course, you know, thinking about my girlfriend, I wrote this song. So this song,
And you know, country music right now is not what country music was anyway.
No, it's really not.
It's morphed into a completely different type of a thing.
It really has. It's kind of, as I've said, you know, country music has become nothing but pop with a twang. So,
there you go. There you go.
I love old country. You know, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. You know, the outlaw country. Those guys. You know, they wrote, their lyrics were so raw. The music was raw. One of my friends and I were talking about it, and he said it's pretty much rock and roll with slow music. And so I completely agree.
Right.
But so this song is called My Everything.
Yeah. All right.
My heartbeat can't stop beating at the sight of you. 'Cause this moment's ever fleeting. There's nothing I can do, and I can't escape this feeling. 'Cause I know it's true, it's you, it's you. You're the dancing in the morning, you're the laughter in the night. You're the reason that I'm smiling when everything is not right. You're the reason that I don't give up. You're the reason that I sing. Girl, you're my everything. My everything. God knows I'm always smiling when you're here with me. Life's really worth its while. Girl, you set me free. There's really no denial, and I clearly see that it's you. Girl, it's you. 'Cause you're the dancing in the morning, you're the laughter in the night. You're the reason that I'm smiling when everything is not right. 'Cause you're the reason that I don't give up. You're the reason that I sing. Girl, you're my everything. My everything. 'Cause you're the dancing in the morning, you're the laughter in the night. You're the reason that I'm smiling when everything is not right. 'Cause you're the reason that I don't give up. You're the reason that I sing. Girl, you're my everything. My everything. Whoa. Thank you.
In here.
Thank you.
Very, very, very good. Very good. What does she think about that?
She likes it.
I bet she did. I bet she did.
Yeah, she likes it.
And what does she do?
She is going to school right now. She lives in Knoxville, so we have a little bit of a long distance relationship, but she's working on a degree in ASL right now, which basically is signing interpreting, and she wants to work in the deaf community schools and stuff like
wonderful.
that, and special education. So it's
Wonderful.
really
That's
cool to see
great.
that.
Good
yeah.
for her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need more people to step up and help in areas like that.
We really do. And it's been encouraging because she's told me stories of how she noticed someone who was signing us, so she went up and she started signing with them, and she said it meant a lot to that person because there's not a lot of people who sign, and
right.
And she said that person said there needs to be more people who do that, because those people need to feel love too, and those people need to have someone talk to them as well.
Very good. Ben Hips, folks. Get in touch with him on Facebook or Twitter or all that stuff that y'all do.
That's right.
That social media stuff. We're glad that you had some time to come spend with us.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
And, don't quit.
I will not.
Don't quit.
I won't.
Ray Charles had it right.
That's
it
right.
It doesn't make a difference whether you're famous, just as long as you keep the spirit and keep doing what you do, because players got to play and singers got to sing.
That's right. We all got to sing.
Got to do it, man. You got to do it. You got a little something you want to lead us out with?
Well, sure.
Or you want to go with it right now?
I'll play one more song, yeah. So I'm
maybe a verse and a chorus.
Sure. I'm going to do a cover of a song I grew up with and really love. The song's called 10,000 Reasons by Matt Redman. I played it at the country show, South Jackson Coast Country, excuse me. And, this song has a lot of meaning to me, and I know it does to a lot of people. And to me, the number 10,000 reasons to me, or 10,000 is just kind of an unlimited number. And I think we should always be finding a reason to be thankful for what we have in life. Even in bad times,
sure.
We realize that, God is still good and He's still faithful. And so I think, like I said, let that number be a reminder to never stop giving Him praise and just being thankful for everything that He's given us. So I'll sing a verse and a chorus.
That sounds good.
So bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. So sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship Your holy name. So bless the Lord, oh my soul, my soul, worship His holy name. So sing like never before, oh my soul. Yes, Lord, I'll worship Your holy name. Lord, I'll worship Your holy name. All right.
All right, Ben Hips.
Thank you, guys.
Ben Hips,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And see you next time.